If you've ever seen the Blender error that says cannot make segment, don't worry, it's usually a simple geometry issue, and in this video I'll show you exactly what it means and how to fix it fast. This is one of those frustrating Blender problems that can happen when you try to connect vertices, especially if you're using the F key to create an edge or close a shape. So if you want a clean fix without guessing, keep watching. And before we jump in, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more quick Blender tutorials like this. Now, let's get into it. First, let's understand what the error actually means. When Blender says cannot make segment, it usually means you are trying to connect two vertices that are already connected, or the geometry is overlapping in a way Blender does not like. In some cases, the curve or shape may already be closed, so Blender cannot create another segment on top of it. That is why the tool seems to fail, even though you feel like you are doing the right thing. The first fix is to check your selection carefully. In edit mode, make sure you have exactly two vertices selected if your goal is to create a new edge between them. If you select too many points, or if the wrong points are selected, Blender may produce an unexpected result or throw that error. So take a moment, deselect everything, then click only the two intended vertices. This is one of the most important parts of solving the problem because the error often comes from selecting the wrong geometry by accident. If the two vertices are not supposed to be connected manually, then the issue may be that the shape is already complete. For example, if you are working with a curve and trying to close it, using F is not always the best option. Instead of forcing a new segment, you can toggle the curve to Cyclic mode. That tells Blender the curve should loop back on itself properly, rather than adding an extra edge where one already exists. So if you're closing a curve, select the curve object and use Alt+C to close the loop. This is a cleaner and more reliable way to complete the shape compared to trying to bridge points with F. In many cases, this instantly solves the cannot make segment error because Blender is no longer trying to create duplicate geometry. Another thing to check is whether your points are already connected in the mesh. If they are, Blender won't make the segment again because it would create overlapping or invalid geometry. So zoom in, inspect the area carefully, and make sure the vertices are actually separate before trying to join them. If needed, you can also remove any overlapping edges or duplicate points before trying again. Here's the quick workflow I recommend. First, identify whether you are working with a mesh or a curve. Second, make sure you have only the exact vertices you want selected. Third, if you are closing a curve, use the cyclic option instead of forcing an edge with F. And fourth, check for existing connections or overlapping geometry before retrying. Following those steps will solve most instances of this error. If you are still getting the message after that, try undoing the last edit and rebuilding that section more carefully. Sometimes the issue is simply that Blender doesn't know where you want the new segment to go because the topology is messy or the curve is already closed. In those cases, cleaning up the geometry first is the fastest path forward. So to recap, cannot make segment usually means the vertices are already connected, the geometry overlaps, or the curve is already closed. The fix is to select exactly the intended points, avoid using F on already connected geometry, and use Alt+C when you want to close a curve properly. That will save you a lot of time and frustration in Blender. If this tutorial helped you, please hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Blender fixes, beginner tips, and workflow shortcuts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.